Non-human intelligence exists, says Karl Nell at the SALT conference in an amazing interview. So let's talk about some of his thoughts, some of what he had to say. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right to it. Here's the big bombshell. Let's check it out. But he had a lot to say.
And so, Karl, here's the million-dollar question. Do you believe that a higher form of non-human intelligence has visited this planet?
Right. So non-human intelligence exists. Non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity. This interaction is not new, and it's been ongoing. And there are unelected people in the government that are aware of that.
And so, Karl, that is quite a bold statement. I'm wondering, and I'm curious, how confident are you that that is true?
There's zero doubt.
There is zero doubt, guys. There is zero doubt. I love it. I love his confidence. Non-human intelligence has been here for a long time and interacting with the government, with the unelected people in the government, the shadow government. That is amazing. Mic drop. Well, it would be a mic drop, but he didn't drop the mic, guys. He kept on talking. For one thing, it's a global phenomenon.
This is a global phenomenon, and it's affecting other countries just like the United States. The reporting on this is clear over decades. Other countries have reported this stuff. And not only that, the Vatican has come out and made statements that reference or tangentially reference this topic. So organized religion has a say in this topic as well. So it's really a whole of planet, whole of humanity problem. And so the U.S. has got its role to play, but these other countries have their role to play, and it would behoove us to recognize that U.S. action could be preempted by another party, and it would be probably more conducive to work collectively.
He also goes into some of the meat on all of this and some of the deeper thoughts. So let's give a listen to a little bit of that.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you have absolute conviction that a higher form of non-human intelligence has visited this planet, that there are factions within our own government that know about this, yet we still don't have a plan, and they may represent a security issue. This may pose a threat to humans, yet you still believe that we should disclose. Is that right?
Correct, right. So there's really three reasons that trump all those others, and those others are basically valid, like I said. So the first issue is the moral right. The government exists for and by the people. And so the nature of reality is fundamentally not government information. People have a right to know the world in which we live, and the pursuit of happiness requires that knowledge. So that's sort of the first kind of overarching philosophical foundation for this. But, as a corollary to that, if there are misdeeds that were done, then they need to be remediated. If there's lack of proper oversight, which is suggested by some of the whistleblowers, that needs to be remediated. So the first issue is the moral issue. The second issue is being in a reactive mode is never preferable to being in a proactive mode. So reactive mode is basically trying to prevent disclosure. But failing that, you might get a situation where you have catastrophic disclosure that creates all the problems that you were trying to prevent. So a more balanced middle path of controlled disclosure is the best way to do this, which is, again, an argument for some amount of disclosure. And the third part is simply societal advance and global competitiveness. More brain trust needs to be brought into this topic in order to make progress and to improve society. And so all three of those things together trump the 6 other reasons for non-disclosure.
Okay, so he's then asked about catastrophic disclosure, and he talks about the collapse of the Bronze Age and how multiple civilizations that had reached a certain peak in civilization all collapsed within one lifetime. And he suggests that this might be the result of catastrophic disclosure. So he is very much against catastrophic disclosure, as for example, if a foreign adversary unveiled this reality to the people of the world, and as a way of destabilizing U.S. culture and civilization. And he seems to think that is a possibility. Now, I don't really believe that. I don't think it would destabilize the world or the U.S. I think most people would say, "Oh, that's interesting. When's the game on?" But maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Who knows? Either way, it's definitely an argument for controlled disclosure, and whether catastrophic disclosure would truly be catastrophic or not, I think it's a good argument. I think it's a good argument. It's a good way of forcing some measure of disclosure. Now, he seems to take a middle road, saying we need controlled disclosure. A 7-year plan, 25-year plan. I don't know exactly what timeline we're looking at. But yeah, he does seem to suggest that controlled disclosure, some sort of gradual unveiling of this, is probably the better way to go. And maybe he's totally right. A few years ago, I would have said yes, that was the way to go. Right now, I'm kind of just rip the Band-Aid off. We need to know what's going on. We need to know what these black programs have been up to. They've been up to some shady stuff. They are likely doing some very shady stuff right now. They are interacting with the phenomenon right now. They are working with some beings, in a favorable way, to them. And they are shooting down other beings. Again, we don't know who they're shooting at and who they're working with. So I think we just need to know what the hell they're doing, and they need some oversight as soon as possible. So I don't really advocate a controlled disclosure at this point. I think we just need the public needs to get involved and to know what's going on and to have some oversight of what these people are doing. But whatever, guys, Karl Nell is advocating for disclosure. He's saying the NHI is real and that it's been here for a long time. It's interacting with the shadow government, the cabal, the control group. It was an amazing interview, guys. But some of you may be wondering, well, who is this guy? Why should we be listening to him, right? Well, here he gives a list of his qualifications.
So I was fortunate. I had a 4-year ROTC scholarship to Penn. I graduated with a degree in electrical engineering. The Army sent me overseas to do signal corps engineering projects. So I did a lot of strategic comm projects in Europe. I ended up working in Army Space Command. I commanded a satellite ground station, war trace to the Joint Chiefs. I spent some time at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The Army ultimately sent me to get a master's in mechanical engineering, a master's in strategic studies, graduate work in computer science. I was on track to stay in, but I decided that I wanted to pursue more of a technical career. So I got out and ended up working at Bell Labs, which was a fantastic place. Unfortunately, I was there during the trivestiture that folks may be familiar with, where the company got split up. I left Bell Labs and ended up working in Lockheed Missiles and Space. I worked at Northrop Grumman. I've ran strategic technology programs in the defense industry, worked for a lot of the 3-letter agencies, ultimately was a deputy chief of staff or deputy CTO for a $2 billion company. I was a vice president general manager of a Northern Virginia-based R&D firm. I stayed in the military, in the reserve. I commanded at every grade level through brigade. I was fortunate to stand up the Army's newest expeditionary MI brigade. I was the deputy chief of staff for a combatant command. Ultimately, this experience sort of combined to give me the opportunity to come in and advise Army Futures Command, the largest reorganization in the Army Reserve since really 1973, on how the Army could be more effective. And my last assignment was involved with the U.A.P. task force, which maybe is the most apropos.
So basically a slacker. But yeah, the man worked at Wright-Pat. He's been associated with Lockheed, Northrop Grumman, and he is saying that NHI is real, it's been here, and it is interacting with a control group. So I am sure that he has seen some stuff that he can't talk about. But what he is saying here is gangbusters, guys. This is huge. I was very disappointed that David Grush wasn't going to be speaking at the SALT conference, but Karl Nell replaced him, and what we have gotten is gangbusters, guys. Like I say, I love it. I salute Karl for coming out with this. And I'm not the only one. Here's what Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet had to say. My colleague, retired Army Colonel Karl Nell, gave an exceptional interview at the recent SALT conference. His topic was U.A.P., formerly UFOs, and he said with 100% certainty that the world is being visited by higher level non-human intelligence. I know he is correct with complete certainty. Why has society not taken this world-changing reality seriously? Partly because of a deliberate and systematic disinformation campaign by the U.S. government, which has perpetuated the stigma associated with U.A.P. Karl is right on target for why we need controlled disclosure of what the U.S. government knows about U.A.P. One, address a moral imperative. The public has a right to know the nature of reality, which should not be exclusive to the government. The pursuit of happiness requires it. I know, right? Reality is classified, guys. Think about it. Reality is classified. That is such BS, guys. That is such BS. Two, correct illegal and unethical conduct. Unelected officials are failing to allow congressional oversight of the programs and protocols involving U.A.P. Absolutely. Three, benefit humanity. This science and technology breakthroughs that can be accomplished by dedicated research into U.A.P. could be transformational. Yeah, and we know the technology exists, guys. We know the control group is sitting on technology that could be transformative for the whole world and make the whole world so much better. Now, of course, there's pitfalls, I know, with free energy. With unlimited power comes unlimited destructive power also. So, there's some, probably some safeguards and stuff that needs to be put in place on all of that. But generally, they are sitting on transformative technology. And they're also shooting at UFOs and working with beings, and they are classifying reality from us. So we need to know the truth. This was amazing stuff from Karl Nell. I love it. Let me know what you think, guys, and let me know if you agree with, just ripping the Band-Aid off. Do you think we should have controlled disclosure? How do you think, they should approach this? Should there be amnesty? What are your thoughts on how disclosure should proceed? Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, become a channel member, buy some merch in the merch store. And I will see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.